Hello and welcome to Matchless Support. Today we're going to talk about how to win lane as Pyke. This guide will include when to pick him, when not to pick him, what items to buy, when and why, how to position in lane, and what are your power spikes. Let's talk about when to pick Pyke. Basically, when the other team picks an immobile, support, or ADC, some examples of supports are Sona, Xerath, Zyra, and Brand, because they have low health and are immobile, which means you have a lot of kill threat. Sona, I love playing against her. She has one of the lowest HP in the game, and you can almost always kill her level 2 with your flash. The others, and Sona too, can whittle you down with their range, but if you dodge well and you position well, and also if you abuse the bushes, you'll do fine, and very often you'll end up with a big lead after the laning phase. Okay, so now let's talk about when you shouldn't pick Pyke, or rather when it's not favorable to you. When the enemy team chooses Morgana, Soraka, Alistar, Leona, and Severe as an ADC, let's say it's less favorable for you. It's not to say that you can't, it's just that you have to understand that they all have a way to negate your abilities or your ultimate. So let's say Soraka has her heals, so she can negate your ult and you won't get resets. Morgana has her black shields for your hooks and stuns. Alistar can always knock you away when you engage. And Leona has so much CC that as soon as you go in, you get chain CC'd and you die. Now, almost every game you could play Pyke, but it'll be harder to snowball and to get kills against these types of champions. So if you play against them, you should always keep track of their timer, of their ability cooldowns, so you can go in when they're down. So they can't do anything. Well, that's every champ. You should do that against every champion, but these champions are specifically have something that really hard counter your ability. So now let's talk about what items to buy, when, and why. So first of all, there are only two options for starting items for Pyke realistically. There's the Ancient Coin and there's the Relic Shield. They both have their value, but I think the Ancient Coin is better because you don't have to walk up and hit minions and get hit by auto attacks or spells to get your gold. And then there's also the mana you get that allows you to abuse your Q and hit it all the time for harassment with your Ancient Coin. I also find that the Ancient Coin provides more money if you upgrade it early, so that means that you can snowball harder. And after that, with your starting 500 gold, buy 2 pots. Then, on your first bat, you should always upgrade your support item once, whether or not you chose Ancient Coin or Relic Shield. And then you should buy always mobility boots, if you can. Because if you manage to roam mid and gank and get a kill for yourself or your mid laner, the game is very much so in your favor. After that, you go into lethality items. Since Pyke scales really well with it, there's no reason not to. Usually I go with Youmuu's Ghostblade just because it allows me to roam and impact the whole game so much more, but all the other lethality items are good too. Next is how to position. Basically, Pyke isn't one of the most supportive supports. He's more of a sit beside your ADC or in a bush and help a bit with wave management until the enemy makes some mistakes and you kill them. So you want to take control of the bushes and harass with your Q to lower their health a bit. And then as soon as they miss position, you dash, flash, Q them, and they're most probably going to be dead. Then just repeat the process. The more kills you have, the more aggressive you can be in lane. You're also quite a safe champion. Since you have a dash, you have, well, basically two movement abilities, and your passive can help you sustain back if you take a bad trade. So you're most likely going to live through most of your mistakes. Another thing you should be thinking about is your enemy. Often the ADC doesn't have any form of CC, but the support might. So you have to be cautious because yes, you are an assassin and you kill really fast, but you can also get killed really easily. So while you're in the bush, you have to be ready to dodge any skill shot, and often I ward their bush so that my ADC can ward the river and I can play aggressive all the laning phase, which is a lot better because if you don't see the skill shot coming, you can't dodge it, and often you'll die from, let's say, a Lux Q. Okay, so now let's talk about the power spikes that Pyke has. His level 1 is not that strong because his Q does a little bit of damage and slows, but he can't really do more than that. So I wouldn't. You could invade level 1 with him, but it's not the strongest level 1. After his level 2, on the other hand, is really good. If you take Electrocute and Ignite also, you can almost always kill someone level 2 if you get the push before them. Then his best power spike is his level 6 because of his ultimate. Often if I can't get a kill in my lane, I'll roam mid and I'll find a kill there. It's really easy, especially if you're playing with champions that can set up a gank really good. Makes it insane. Then there's another important thing. It doesn't really speak to Pyke's power spikes, but more of how to solo carry a game. Pyke can really easily solo carry a game, and often if I see that my ADC isn't playing very well, I will take the first kill gold, and even not just the first kill to get the gold. That's even before my level 6, so I can share the gold. It's just because if I see that my ADC isn't playing well, if I get an early lead, I can go impact mid and even top if I get really fed, and then my whole team is gonna snowball out of control. And this speaks maybe a bit about Pyke's power spikes. When Pyke has about, let's say, 4 to 5 kills at the 10-minute mark, and you've stayed in lane with your ancient coin, so you have a bit of gold there. Usually you can get maybe one item and a half, maybe 2 if you're lucky. You can start one-shotting people really easily, and you can snowball the game. And often, if there's a skirmish, you go there with your mobility boots and your Yomu's Ghostblade, and you'll get a triple kill, and the team will just FF right there. Finally, let's go over the runes as a bonus. I mostly use Electrocute, Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection with Ultimate Hunter, and the Precision Secondary with Triumph and Cutdown. Basically, that's to get as much kill pressure as I can on low levels, and with Triumph and Ultimate Hunter are for mid and late game team fights and picks. Triumph's heal has saved me very often from an Ignite, for example, ticking down. Um, there's another set of runes that I also use, which is Aftershock, Demolish, Bone Plating, Overgrowth, and then Inspiration secondary with Perfect Timing and Time Warp Tonic. Uh, I feel I usually use this when I feel like it's going to be a hard lane and I need more safety, and it's Pyke already has a lot of damage in his kit, so you don't necessarily need it, but I just enjoy more damage, so I can really be dominating at early levels. Thank you for watching. This was my first video ever, so feel free to give me some feedback, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed.